it's never just about bundling. It's actually about all these other different things, these different pieces that come part of it. And so, again, we're going to step back and we're going to think about direct to consumer first. So I've just signed up for Netflix. Again, I'm using Netflix as a recurring example today, but any of the services that offer different product tiers or different products follow into this example. And often where we've gone through in our purchase flow, I've chosen a tier or a product from the provider. So in this example, we're talking about, I've gone to Netflix and I've chosen standard with ads, or I've chosen premium. Now, during that period of the activation flow and the acquisition flow, there are many chances to upsell. We only have to think of sort of supermarket shopping or any e-commerce site that now when you check out, you get presented with all sorts of different things you can add to your basket to bundle, right? So this sort of idea of upselling during the checkout journey, you've got someone who is going to buy, we're going to try and make as much as we can at that point for the consumer. So this really fits into that path where for subscription services, the perfect chance to upsell is when they're already going through those buying signs. It could be that actually it's after a month worth of watching and they've watched something that they really like and they want to carry on, but it also can be just when they're activating. So it's relatively simple, direct to consumer. You go through and you add the one you want. But when it becomes the channel, things get a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to take one example here, which is a bank current account that gives you Disney standard with ads for 12 months as a perk when you sign up to a bank account.
So would you say this is an example of like a bad example of a customer flow? Because there's some interesting dynamics around this particular one, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that the bit that becomes really interesting in this is not the initial offer looks really useful, right? I have children, they like Disney. We kind of have the Disney stuff just because the back catalogue so useful for kids. And when we sort of look at an offer like this, it looks really attractive to consumers. So you go through it, and actually, if you have a look at things like this, at the moment, the only tier offered is standard with ads. So what that means is that
you can't upgrade.
You can't upgrade.
Oh.
So how do I handle this? And so this hurts both sides of the channel, right? So there is a likelihood when if someone reads before they sign up, they would say, oh, actually, no, I don't want that one. I want to be able to download onto tablets before I take them on holiday, or I want to be able to do it. And it hurts Disney because, hang on, I can't do that. So what you find is that both channel partners don't have the optimum journey, and because the consumer experience is impacted. And we often find this sort of approach happens when vouchers are used as opposed to bundling and add to bill approaches for entitlements.
So have you got an example of kind of a good flow then to talk through, Carl?
Yeah, so I think one of the best ways that we see, and I just touched on it in the last point, is when you are managing an entitlement, a right to access that product or service, and you are using the channel to split the billing for it. So one part of the channel, the reseller, takes care of the billing, and one side takes care of the entitlement and the service. What that means is that actually the flows can be far simpler. They can actually provide you the similar sort of experience to the direct to consumer. So in this example, the entertainment pack of EETV comes with Netflix standard. Now, do you see Netflix from the previous example? They're not going to want to miss out on those things. They're going to want to show how amazing Netflix is. Therefore, you want to upsell. So whether that's upselling as they go to activate, or they upsell afterwards, they've watched the first series because they really like it and they want to share it across the household. This is the sort of experience that we see, is where actually that change of package is absolutely allowed and encouraged by both sides of the channel.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a very interesting part, I think, talking about this with just kind of one content provider, right? So what a bundle of just one content provider, Netflix in this example, or Disney Plus. I imagine when you start talking about multiple content providers in the same bundle, it gets very, very complicated, right?
Yeah, that's right. And this is the sort of complication actually I love. It's really one of the things that makes building products at Bango so great, and finding solutions to these sort of real challenges. So offers in the channel is one thing, but offers, when those offers are full of preset bundles or soft bundles or whatever it might be, becomes increasingly challenging. So if we look at these two examples here, whether it's a TV package or a mobile package, with that first party, you are then having a bundle of third-party services. So the two examples here are Netflix and Max, or Peacock, Netflix, and Apple. You get those three if you buy Xfinity or if you buy Unlimited Plus. Now, both of these come with a standard tier, right? So the Netmax, as you can see on the advert there, is with ads.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you now going to be in this situation where I'm convinced during the activation that actually I don't want Netflix with ads, or I don't want Max with ads. I want to upgrade one of them. So but I only want to upgrade one of them, or both of them, or neither. So we've got now a set of combinations, and a growing set of combinations for how to handle this. So with bundles and bundled offers in the channel, things just got a little bit more complicated, because it's very easy to break or unbundle that bundled offer.
Hey guys, so if I have my own Netflix account already, say I've got a premium Netflix account, but I want to take on this bundle, right? How does that kind of work, for example?
Yeah, so again, this is the real advantage of offers in the channel, and the way I described the split between how the entitlement to the product and service is managed and how it's billed for. So the point I would say to you is just sign up, right? You've got your Netflix account, you will sign up, and what you will see is that all that happens is the billing relationship shifts. Okay. Your account remains as it is. You've still got your account, no changes to your personalization, no changes to your just watched or your my list or whatever that might be. But then if you go into your account areas for these, you will then see that's managed by the channel. And that is how we would suggest it. You don't lose any of this by moving to the channel.
So let's talk a little bit about the solution for this particular challenge.
Yeah, so we touched on a few of them. There are so many bundle and unbundled paths. I'm just going to unpack two of them. And the first one, let's talk about that upgrade and downgrade that we talked about, just because it's so valuable for both sides of the channel. So the normal channel flow will take you through. I've been to the reseller site. I've purchased this subscription to this product or service, and then I go to that service to then go and to activate it and start using it. The happy path is just where, oh, well, I'm happy with what I've purchased, and I just go ahead and activate it. As we talk about, the normal flow is an activation. You sign up as a consumer, you don't see any of it. Behind the scenes, a sort of activation is to Bango, to DVM, and then on to the reseller. But we talked about there's huge value in that upsell. So something else out of the box, upgrades and downgrades out of the box with DVM, means that actually if you choose to change that tier, that's absolutely fine too. So the upgrade flow is fully supported, where you can just change to premium and carry on, acknowledging that you're going to pay so much more money for that subscription, for that billing, for that entitlement. But behind the scenes, again, you're sending this person upgraded and activated, and DVM then sends that on to the reseller. So it's a seamless approach to that. But we also see paths around bundling and unbundling content provider products. There are some content providers out there who have music, SVOD, and other products in their own bundle, and that they can break apart their bundle. So that is also something that we support out of the box when things come through. So content providers breaking their own bundles as well. And this is the other piece to really dig into, is that the offer management piece that we started talking about when we started about content provider bundles just grows in terms of combinations. So one example of a reseller that Bango works with 45 content providers, actually the number of different product promotional offers that are given then to the consumer, the price points, the durations, grows and grows and grows. So the count in this slide was put together, we talked about 261 live offers that are being managed. And what that means is that when a consumer is taking some preset offers as bundles, some that are just single standalone items, there are potentially 2,500 combinations of offers that subscribers can take. Again, when we talk about not wanting to add that complication onto the end user, it becomes really crucial that Bango and you are thinking about the customer journey as a whole. So, and finally, and sorry, I was going to say, Ben, I told you I love this complicated stuff. So I mentioned the extra complication when it comes to the content provider bundles. And this is where changing the product also changes the offer that someone takes. So we go back to all those Peacock, Netflix, and Apple sort of bundles. If I've moved one and changed one, this all really falls under what we call bundling strategies with offers in the channel. And I'm looking really forward to next year talking loads more about this, because this is a fantastic space to be in, where you can get all the success you need when you start thinking about your bundling strategies in this.